In this video, we're going to look at 10 or the top 10 English pronunciation difficulties for Korean speakers. Every country in the world has English pronunciation difficulties. For example, in America, Americans have difficulties. In Ireland, Irish people have difficulties. And in England, there are also many difficulties. But what we are going to look at are the top 10 for Korean speakers. We're going to practice them, but also talk about why, okay? So, just like all of our videos, what I want you to do is practice the sounds along with me, okay? The more we practice, the more control we have over the sounds. So number one is something we see on the first day. It is the E, sound. And we can see this in words like seat, sit, seat, sit. And you can see in my face that the difference is about the shape of your mouth, okay? So let's practice the sentence together. Please sit on the seat next to the sheep on the ship. One more time, slowly. Please sit on the seat next to the sheep on the ship. Let's try everything together. Please sit on the seat next to the sheep on the ship. Again, it's that I sound. And even when I speak the sentence, I go slowly, okay? Let's try the second one, the diphthong or double sound, okay? Now this sound is difficult because in Korean language, we don't have the double vowel sound. So many times we have problems because the Korean language and the English language have different rules, okay? So if we look at this sound, O, we can say that the words go, no, show are a little bit strange. So let's try it, this one here. No, let's go to the show. Everything together. No, let's go to the show. Now, even if this is easy for you, it's good to practice out loud the O sound because you can control it more, you can become stronger and more confident with the diphthong sound, okay? Okay, next one, central vowel. And the central vowel is a vowel in the middle of the word, okay? Again, it's a little bit difficult for Korean speakers. For example, last week, the student asked, what is the difference between work, walk, work, walk, wo. And again, it's mouth shape, okay? It's not about your understanding, it's about the listening and how you make the sound. So let's look at this sentence. Now this one is a little bit difficult, so we'll go slowly first. After me, Bert's words hurt worse than Shirley's. Bert's words hurt worse than Shirley's. Let's try everything together. Bert's words hurt worse than Shirley's. Okay? And you don't need to go fast. Speaking fast does not mean you have good English. Okay? It's about the control. All right? And you can see that even though the spelling changes here, you are, or, and I are, excuse me, when the spelling changes, the sound doesn't change. Okay? So it's about the sound. It's about the sound, not the spelling. Okay, let's try the next one, number 4. All right. Adding an extra vowel to a word. In Korean, we have words like, for example, changey, which is Konglish, okay, changey. But that sound E at the end, or buku, or luku. This is because of the Korean language. We have that or E sound at the end. However, in English, if our word finishes with a consonant, it's very important not to say sandwichy or buku. There's no no E. So we take that away, okay? For example, my sandwich. It's about controlling this sound. Ch. My sandwich. Look, a book. Look. No. You have to try and cut that sound away. All right? You're controlling the final vowel or final consonant. My sandwich. Look, a book. Okay? All right, now this one, L and R, is a big difficulty for many speakers, not just in Korea, okay? The L, R, lead, red. It's all about your mouth shape and your tongue position, excuse me. So, if we look at the R sound and the L sound together, it can be a little bit difficult when they're in the same word. It is about your physical practice of the words, okay? So let's try this together, and we will go very slowly. Rory, rarely, rushed round, very thoroughly. Same speed. Rory, rarely, rushed round, very thoroughly. Okay? So, when you see a word with L and R together, that's when it becomes difficult. So, for example, rarely. It's about controlling the vowels, slowing down. So, let's try it all together. Rory rarely rushed round very thoroughly. Okay? One more time. Rory rarely rushed round very thoroughly. Again, I'm controlling the L and the R sound. L, R, L, R. Okay? And this word here, one more time, thoroughly. Break down the word, stretch it, and speak slowly. Thoroughly, 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 thoroughly. The more we practice, the more control every time. Okay, now the TH sound. The TH sound is difficult for everybody. For example, in my country, there is English and Irish, okay? And in Irish, my language, there is no TH sound. So this sound is very difficult for me and very difficult for my students. But the more I practice, the better I get, okay? Very important. So the sound, of course, is the f and the, and stronger, softer. Okay? Let's look at a sentence and practice it together. Thankfully, the 3 brothers theorize amongst themselves. Let's try it one more time. Thankfully, the 3 brothers theorize amongst themselves. And this time I will come closer. Thankfully, the three brothers theorize amongst themselves. The slower you go, the better, but also understand how important your tongue is when you're making the sound, okay? Practice with this sentence. One more time. Thankfully, the three brothers theorize amongst themselves, okay? Now, as we're doing this, remember, you've got to keep breathing. You've got to relax a little bit too. So, you know, your pronunciation warm-up is very important before this. Pronunciation of V and F. V, F. These are sounds that do not exist in the Korean language. For example, V, Vietnam. But in Korean, we say Vietnam, like a B sound. Or we would say video, not video. But the main thing is, remember, one lip, V. One lip, F. Not two lips. It's very simple, okay, but difficult when you're speaking. So let's try, simple, a very nice festival. One more time, a very nice festival, okay? All right. Pronunciation of W. Now the W sound, W, is easy to do on its own. But when we put it with a vowel like W or WA, then it's not too bad, a little more difficult. But when we use a word like wool or a wood, you have to understand that it's about the control of the W, D, W, L, wool, wood. Okay, you're changing the sounds and the shape of your face. Okay, so let's look at this one. Would you buy me some wood and some wool? Would you buy me some wood and some wool? One more time. Would you buy me some wood and some wool? Okay. Again, the first time you do it, you will feel difficulty and stress, but the more you practice, I promise you, the easier it will become. Next one, word stress. Now, word stress is not stress like in your body. Word stress is about controlling the words that you speak. Okay? So, for example, we have these big words here that we want to stress the parts of this part of the word, this part of the word, this part. For example, pronunciation, 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 pronunciation. Okay? Let's try the next one. Interference, interference. Emphasis, emphasis. Communication, communication. Okay, there's a kind of a rise in the word. Communication, pronunciation, interference, emphasis, communication. Okay, remember, English is like music. Language is like music. You don't play the same note, duck, 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 the same. Music goes up and down and moves, okay? Language is the same. So stress is about control. It's about controlling where your sound goes. Is it soft? Is it loud? You know, is it higher, lower, strong? Let's look at the last one. Now we take word stress and then we put it into sentence stress. And sentence stress is so important because You want to be able to communicate your focus or what you are talking about, okay? So for example, we have a sentence here. I like to go to the beach with my friends at the weekend. I like to go to the beach with my friends at the weekend. So we can see the black words, there's more stress on them. I like to go to the beach with my friends at the weekend. One more time. I like to go to the beach with my friends at the weekend. Okay? And again, the more you practice, the more you are in control of the music or the musicality of the sentence. Okay? So, to summarize, it's very important that you practice physically. Okay? Because when you practice in your mind, you can't understand how to control the words. But when we practice these difficulties, they become easier the more we focus on them and the more we repeat and use our body. The more we relax, the easier it will be.